The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
And welcome everyone to the Saturday Sports Brunch edition of No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are presented by Belly Up Sports in association with Gozilla Media. My name is Ryan McCarthy. I'm one of your hosts. To my right is a man who was considered as a contributor to NBC News, but unfortunately, after the shrieking of the other hosts on MSNBC, he was summarily fired. Dustin Henry. Dustin, how are we doing today?
I'm doing all right. I'm ready to jump in this morning. Not being here Tuesday makes me realize how much I do look forward to being in front of the mic. So I'm happy to be back, even though Snowman did a great job filling in. I listened to the episode, although he didn't seem totally enthused about some of our based on the soundboard drops. He did not seem totally enthused about some of our selections for No Ticket Required, which we will be getting into.
That's a Snowman problem.
But it was great to hear you guys break down the women's bracket and the men's bracket of college basketball. I have not been watching as much as I like.
Speaking of brackets.
Thanks
a lot, Houston.
Oh man,
thanks a lot, Arizona.
Well, Houston destroyed my bracket as well, because I think I had them going pretty far.
There's a reason why I hate Duke.
The Blue Devils.
That's one of them. Anyway, well, we're gonna get more cheerful because we're talking about baseball today. I mean, baseball's back.
Yes, baseball is back. Yeah. I have not been able to watch as much as I wanted to. I've just had a lot going on.
I have, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. But before we do that,
I am so glad.
But before we do that, I'll remind you about our socials right down here below on Twitter, Instagram, and the occasionally used TikTok. It's at NoCredsREQ. We'll see how long TikTok's available in the United States. Anywho, Facebook.com/NoCredsREQ, YouTube.com/@NoCredsREQ. We also want to welcome those who are watching on replay on Rumble. We appreciate you watching. And if you wouldn't mind, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to all of our social media channels. We would sincerely appreciate it. On the podcast side, subscribe to the podcast on your preferred podcast platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Good Pods, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, whichever platform you podcast to, you listen to your podcast on. You're welcome to subscribe, rate and review. A 5-star rating would be absolutely positively helpful. And also any reviews that you leave on a platform which you can, we'll even read it on the air. And because this is a live show, we currently are live on Facebook, Twitter, I still refuse to call it X, and on YouTube. We welcome your comments. We welcome your comments to the show. And Dustin, I know you missed out on Friday or on Tuesday, but I know you've been waiting to hear that magical sound.
Oh yes.
That's right. Engage with the show. Engage with us. Actually, we've got Sick Diggy all the way from Norway, friend of the show, saying, welcome to the Holy Saturday edition of No Credentials Required.
Welcome, Sick.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you being with us. And we're going to get started. Opening day officially started on Thursday, and I couldn't have been happier. Actually, I mean, last year we weren't too, I guess you would say, enthused about the baseball season. Didn't really have a lot to look forward to, but I'm back in the spirit. I'm back in the spirit of things, and I'll tell you why. Because and this is not an ad for them, but I'm a T-Mobile subscriber, and apparently you get the entire season of MLB.TV on them.
Ooh.
So I got free baseball the entire year, baby. Woo!
Yeah, that's a nice deal, man. Wow.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. So I got so I was watch slash listening to I guess it was the let me think which game games I tuned into on Thursday or Tuesday. Yeah, Thursday. Let me think. Which ones did I watch? Oh, the Orioles and the Angels. Of course, the Angels are terrible, but we kind of knew that coming in. That's kind of a package. It's kind of a package deal. The awfulness that is the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and the fact that it's just the Mike Trout show, and and the Orioles, the whole tragedy of this week of the bridge collapse in Baltimore. I figured that the Orioles were going to play inspired for their home crowd, so watched a little bit of that game. Also watched a little bit of Cincinnati and Washington. And I'll say this: I said this on Twitter. I put it on my personal Twitter account. It's at whoisRyanMCC. So this on Thursday. I said, yeah, I know the Reds are beating up on the Nationals, and it's only opening day, but the Reds are a team to watch this year.
Oh yeah,
things that got to happen. The Reds, the starting pitching has to hold up. Ricky Montas did a really wonderful job on opening day, and Ellie De La Cruz is going to be an X factor with Matt McLean being out for part of the season with I guess he had surgery on his labrum. I want to say I'll double check that, but Ellie De La Cruz is going to be an X factor for this team, but he's got to be more disciplined at the plate.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say. Ellie De La Cruz, his talent jumps off the charts, right? He's one of these players that you can see it immediately when you watch him play. However, he's got to get the strikeouts down. He strikes out entirely way too much. He's very aggressive at the plate.
Yeah, absolutely. There's another guy who I've kind of got my eye on. That's O'Neal Cruz, for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and we talked about him a little bit last year. He was having a really hot start, then he broke his ankle.
Yes,
and the Pirates went back to being the Pirates. But they had a really good win. They had an extra inning win on Thursday. But I was impressed by the Orioles. Corbin Burns had a great game, 11 strikeouts on Thursday in front of a raucous home crowd. Shout out to our guy Eric Arditi from Barstool Sports. He covers the Baltimore Orioles for Barstool. We're hoping to have him back on the show. He says, anytime you guys want me on, I'm on. So we're going to try to bring him back on for a Thursday or a Saturday edition. And there might actually be a trip in the works to Baltimore this year.
Oh man, little mystery. Little
no tolls required road trip coming up.
Yes, we are going to keep doing this, everybody. If you wonder, our branding for the show is no blank word
blank required. Yup. We're shameless. We're shameless promoters. All right. So Dustin, I know you say you haven't had a whole lot of time to watch any of the games, but I know you're a fantasy baseball guy.
I am. And let me give a plug for fantasy baseball in general. I'm not going to talk about my team on the show. I know that's not what everybody wants to hear, but fantasy baseball gets me to follow other teams more than I normally would, because normally I would have AL East glasses on. I'd be watching the Yankees and I'd be watching the teams in our division, and that's pretty much where it would stop. But because of fantasy baseball, and I run a league, and I've been playing for a number of years now. It doesn't mean I'm any good at it. But because of fantasy baseball, I am monitoring the Detroit Tigers closer situation. Okay, this is the kind of madness.
Hey, watch out! Julie from Michigan might be watching right now.
Yeah.
You say something bad about her Tigers, she will go sports Julie on you.
But that's normally I wouldn't care about that, because I don't follow the Tigers, but because I ended up closers went fast in my league, and I ended up drafting Alex Lang, who did not pitch. I forget who came in the ninth, but he looked great, and he I think it was Tigers White Sox, and the Tigers won nothing. So now I'm like, do I have to go out and pick up this guy? Is Lang gonna pitch? I thought they signed him to be the closer. Like, what's going on? But that is all thanks to fantasy baseball. However, I did see one. We would be remiss as Yankee fans if we did not mention Juan Soto's throw on opening day to beat to beat those pesky Astros. And I know in the Discord we were going back and forth. There's not a whole lot of love lost for the Astros in our Discord.
With the exception of one Cole Johnson, who actually give us some news today. I knew about this a couple days ago. He's getting his own morning television live stream program. Starting on April 29th. So I'll have to tune into that.
For sure.
Fun.
For sure. Where can we watch? I want to get down. I want to watch.
It will be on. That's a great question. I believe it'll be on the BS3 network YouTube. So April 29th, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Cole Johnson, shout out to you, my friend.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to
congratulations to you.
Yeah, congratulations, Cole. I'll have to mark that on my calendar. I'll be watching at work. Don't tell anybody.
I call it watch listening.
That's
how I get away with
it. Oh man, but
I'm looking for that picture you were mentioning for the Tigers, because Tariq Skubal had a really great game. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed.
And Tariq Skubal is he's unbelievable. He was a player that I was targeting, and again, because of fantasy baseball, I have followed Tariq Skubal for a few years now because I had him on a few teams. And when Tariq first came into the league, his fastball left a little bit to be desired. But now, and last year, frustratingly, before he got hurt, or I think it was the year before, because I believe he had Tommy John, and that's what he was coming back from. But that year, you could see that he was starting to put it together. And then he had Tommy John. And now, I'm going to say it, I hope I don't jinx him. Tariq Skubal's a certified ace. He's figured it out now, from what I can see. And I have an uneducated baseball eye, so it's not like I know anything. But I'm just saying, he has really put it together. And I mean, the Tigers, they're one of those teams, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but it's kind of like the original 6 in hockey. You just want to see them do well. And
although I will say, I will have a caveat to the original 6. I do not want the New York Rangers to do well.
Obviously.
Let's put a pin on that.
I knew you had to mention that as a Rangers fan. But I am excited.
Devils fan, thank you.
Devils fan. I knew you had to mention the Rangers hate as a Devils fan. That's what I meant to say.
Hate, like the player haters ball. Hate.
Talking too fast as always, but I'll cede the floor to you shortly. But I'm with you. I'm very excited to watch baseball this year. I want to keep a closer eye on it. I want to see what goes on in the league, and I really am hoping the Yankees make the postseason, because it's just better when your team is in it. October baseball is like it's got a special vibe, but for now, I'm going to enjoy the ride. I'm happy that baseball has resumed, although, some of the quotes, I don't know if you saw them, but Juan Soto was asked about a long-term contract with the Yankees, and he said, hey, you can't really, I can't remember what the quote was, but he basically said, I wanted to be with the Nationals and I'm not there anymore. So, and then Cashman came out and said he was asked about it, and he said Scott Boras is his agent, and Scott typically takes his guys to free agency. That's the most common track.
Oh no, his agent Scott Boras.
Yeah.
Son of a
Yeah, so I don't know. It's not sounding promising to get a long-term deal done, but it's early. And right now, can we just talk about that throw? Because that's
Oh
a,
yeah.
a great throw is one of these things. And you mentioned O'Neal Cruz just a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm.
He made a throw a few seasons ago. It might have been last season or the season before.
Might have been last
That
season, yeah.
that throw was a rope, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. And this Juan Soto throw is another one. That was something to see. And also the fact that it was in the ninth inning, and the Yankees had been down. I think they were down 4-0 in that game. They came back to take the lead 5-4. Then the Astros, they were going to tie it, but Juan Soto said, no.
He said, no. It's true. There was a couple of reasons why the Yankees got Juan Soto. A, short porch in left field. Gotta have it as left-handed batter. I don't know why the Yankees are so inclined to try to get right-hand smashers to sign with the team. Just go out and get a bunch of lefties. Have a bunch of lefties in your lineup because they'll smash it out of the short porch in left field or right field. But also, he's a good fielder.
Oh yeah.
He's actually pretty good fielder. He's led the major leagues in walks the last 3 years, the last 3 seasons, and he showed that discipline at the plate last couple of nights. So I'm excited. And I gotta say this. I will say this, Dustin. I watched, in addition to my free subscription to MLB TV, another one of the amenities I get is that I get a free subscription to Apple TV Plus.
Ooh, nice.
And I was able to watch a little bit of last night's game between the Yankees and the Astros. Or I'll say that, I'll go on and say this. I purposely spell the Astros ASSTROS now. Like, you spelled it wrong. No, I spelled it right.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
But I gotta say, Apple TV Plus puts on a pretty good production. I'm gonna say I'll come out and say it. I was skeptical when I first watched it. I'm going, all right, maybe let's take a look. Let's just see what's going on here. And I gotta say, Apple TV, they do a top. I don't know who they hired as their live sports television executive or whatever, but they did an outstanding job.
Yeah.
Between the commentators were the play-by-play color commentary was really good. They had at the bottom right hand of the screen, it's not so distracting. It has the probability for, say, getting on base or a strikeout for the batter to strike out. They would have advanced stats throughout the game, which I don't really nerd out about. I mean, they had the one stat last night about Carlos Rodon throwing out 200, over 200 batters with his four-seam fastball the last couple of seasons. I think his last 4 seasons. And, well, of course, the next batter he faces gets out on a 4-seam fastball.
There you go.
And I'll give credit where credit's due, too. I was skeptical about Carlos Rodon because last night he got roughed up in terms of allowing batters on base. But he would get out of the jam. So he allowed only 1 run in the 4 or 5 innings he pitched, and he was getting hit up. He was getting lit up in hits and walks, but he would get out of innings. And and I'm hoping that Carlos can kind of put it together. I think I forgot who was doing the color commentating for Apple TV last night. I'll have to look it up, but he's actually pretty smart. I actually like him a lot. As a color commentator, but he was mentioning, something's wrong. Something's going on with Carlos Rodon. His body language seems a little bit off. I can't figure it out, but he just seems like he's just a little bit, I don't say squeamish, but he's just a little bit timid. I don't know if he just. I think part of it is the fact that he was injured. He was out for the first 4 months of last year.
Yeah,
and this is the first opening day. This is his first start in April since he was a member of the Giants a couple of years ago. So yeah, give credit where credit's due. I Apple TV Plus, great job with your job with your coverage. I mean, I'll definitely tune into Friday Night Baseball if the Yankees are on for sure. I know they'll also be on Prime for a couple of games this year. I don't know how many months they'll be on, but since I can't watch the Yankees live on MLB TV. Jerks. I could always watch on Apple TV or on Prime on Friday.
Yep.
Or on Fox if I go to the local watering hole.
Yes, yeah, the Fox games, and Tim McCarver is no longer announcing those, and hasn't been for quite some time. But
you can't really do play-by-play when you're
no, you
left
can't.
this realm.
You can't, unless you talk to the Sklar brothers, who regularly have Doug Buffone, Chicago Bears radio announcer, call into their show from the heavenly gates. But yeah, I will say I had Apple TV. I'm trying to remember when I had it, but I got it, got a free year as part of a thank you for purchasing my MacBook Pro that I'm using right now. And I remember I did watch a few of their MLB broadcasts, and I remember thinking the same thing. They did a great job. And the problem is I'll tell you where your skepticism comes from. It comes from the fact that Amazon's Thursday Night Football package is the worst.
Awful.
It's terrible.
Awful.
It is terrible. So now everybody's got that bad taste. They're like, how are these streaming broadcasts going to be? Apple TV did a great job.
Real nice.
Yeah.
Real nice, Clark.
Yeah.
But we also, I actually pulled up that Juan Soto throw. So I'll play it now. Again.
You can admire it again.
Property of Major League Baseball. This is free and fair use. This is not for intention of blah, blah, blah. Lawyer speak. All right, let's bring it up and talk about a skosh.
There's a base hit to right field.
Wait for it.
Him home. Here's the throw from Soto. Here's the play. They got him. They got him. A great tag by Trevino, and Soto got rid of it quickly for the second out.
Meanwhile, did you notice Aaron Judge's uniform? He's having meat sweats.
Yeah, he's out.
Look at that. You can tell he's got a wife beater under there.
I know.
Too much Texas barbecue before the game there, Aaron. Oh my God.
Maybe
we joke. I mean,
maybe he's got the same pregame ritual as Tony Kukoc. Because if you watch the great documentary that was on ESPN and now on Netflix,
The Last Dance.
Please watch The Last Dance. It's fantastic. But in it, they talk about how Tony Kukoc comes over, and they're like, Tony, how do you get ready for the game? Because they're like, he's eating a huge meal, like right before they're going to play.
Yeah.
And they're like, Tony, how are you going to be able to play? And he said, and I quote, I eat big meal, take big shit, play game. So maybe that is what Aaron Judge is doing.
Maybe he's got the poop sweats, not the poop
sweats. Yeah, maybe.
I go to the bathroom in 2 innings, and man,
he's gonna have to get the injury cart, a la DK Metcalf a few years ago in that Detroit game.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Boone does a. Oh gosh, what was that coach's name? Dwayne Sutter, after a post-game press conference where he was asked, "What? Oh, why was this player going out of the game?" I think he had to take a shit.
Oh yeah, I remember that clip. I forgot about that one.
Oh man, such great, Juan Soto throw was on the money, on the mark.
Yes,
Houston tried to challenge it. They tried to challenge it, and they said, nope, you were definitely out. Mm-hmm. So Yankees win 5-4. They actually wound up putting 7 unanswered yesterday on Houston. I actually turned off the game when it was 1-0. And of course, what do? They go ahead 2-1. And I listened in for the rest of the game, and then I guess in the 8th inning they just blew it open. With 5 more runs, so 7 unanswered. And look, if the Yankees get out of Houston, winning 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 3, I'm a happy dude. I'm a happy dude.
Yeah, me too. Me too, because we can hate on those Astros all we want, but they're going to be good again this year, I think.
Hate. Yeah, so they got a game tonight at 7. This is okay. So this is weird. Schedule is so weird. So they play Houston as I think it's a 3:00 game on 3:00 Eastern game on Thursday. Last night's game was 7:00. Tonight's game is at 7:15 Eastern start. Then tomorrow's game is a 2:10 Eastern start. So they're all over the place with the schedule. But if they take, heck, I'll be happy with 2 wins coming out of Houston.
Yeah,
they got to go to Arizona next.
Yeah, that's going to be
Arizona tough. Put up 14 runs in the 3rd inning of their home opener on Thursday.
Yeah, they were. It
was a Colorado
they have
Rockies,
Jordan Montgomery now. They have Jordan Montgomery. He signed with Arizona, and as Dr. Lady correctly pointed out in the Discord, from the World Series champs to the runners-up, can't get much better than that. But and if you're watching Dr. Lady either on replay or now or wherever, how about that Brad Miller start from the other night for your Dodgers, eh?
Oh.
He was pretty good. Once again, I have him on my fantasy team. Normally, I wouldn't know this much about that.
Dustin's going to be crowing about his fantasy team throughout this entire season. I
will not.
I need to make an element of Dustin, of like a crow.
A crow.
And it'll be called, and the segment will be called Dustin's Fantasy Foot Baseball Minute. It'll be a crow going, Dustin's Fantasy Baseball Minute.
Well, I am keyed in a little, all jokes aside, I am keyed in on Dodgers pitching a little bit, simply because Ohtani can't pitch this year anyway, but you got the scandal swirling around Shohei Ohtani. And then you've got, Clayton Kershaw, he's on the shelf. The Dodgers rotation no doubt looks a little different than they thought it would when they made all those signings, because is Yamamoto hurt as well? Or Yamamoto? I
don't know if he's hurt, but I know he got lit up the first game they played when they were in Korea.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So
actually, you know what? Let me double check.
Yeah, their pitching rotation probably looks a little different than they expected.
Yeah, no news of Yamamoto being on the DL, although I'm sorry, the IL.
Oh yeah,
but
it'll always be the DL.
Walker Buehler is starting this year on the 15-day
yes.
DL.
And Dustin May, he's also hurt.
And Clayton Kershaw is on the 60-day IL as well.
Yeah, and they also have Tyler Glasnow, who is not exactly known for his ability to stay healthy. Great pitcher when healthy, but little injury history there with Tyler Glasnow. So the Dodgers rotation does interest me, but it's kind of for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, with their offensive, with the offense they have, they just need to get 5. I think they probably need to do what the Yankees do and get a bunch of runs on the board, get your pitcher to throw 5 strong innings, let your bullpen take over, and win some games. That's all you get. That's what you basically need to do. So I get to send another congratulations to, I like to say it, a Boston Red Sox. But Tyler O'Neill of the Boston Red Sox on Thursday hit another home run. This is a major league record fifth consecutive opening day with a home run.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
well, that's pretty cool. But with that being said, there's got to be a specific element that is at the ready. Because we just talked about Boston.
Yep, I got it right here. Here we go. Here's the PSA from Wise El Jefe.
The following is a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Boston.
This has been a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Yeah. So that palate cleanser. We said one good thing about Boston. Now we got that palate cleanser with with Wise El Jefe. Another guy we'll bring back on the show. We got to bring him back on.
Of course,
too. Of course, we got to talk some Yankees. Got to talk some. We actually got to talk about his Knicks because his New York Knicks are currently doing. Knock on wood, doing pretty well in the NBA. So, well, we won't talk about the Rangers though. That's my only caveat. Yeah, the Knicks are fourth. Are currently a half game back of Cleveland for the third spot in the third spot in the Eastern Conference, and 2 games back of Milwaukee.
Which
and you're catching Boston. Nobody's catching Boston. So
the C's are very good. They're good in the East as they have been for a little bit now. Milwaukee looking surprisingly shaky with I thought the acquisition of Damian Lillard would put them over the top. But just as an aside, I would like to say, even though I follow, obviously everybody that watches this show knows I follow the Mavs. They're my basketball team. But I live in New York, and the Knicks have been not great for so long that I will be rooting for the New York Knicks in the playoffs. They made it last year. And I will say it. You hate to say things like this, but New York is an NBA market. It's better when a New York team is in the playoffs for the NBA. No question about it. No question about it.
Also, Brooklyn Nets, go back to New Jersey.
Yeah. Brooklyn hasn't exactly been lighting it up.
What is called the shadow realm of the NBA, the Barclays Center. That's where the Nets play. All right, we're gonna come back. We're gonna go to commercial break. We're gonna go to commercial break. But first, we gotta visit our friends in the comments section. Continuing, Ryan should be doing a happy dance for that great news. Oh, should I? Wait for it. There we go. All right, that's all you're getting. All right, he continues. A broken is no joke. I think he missed broken ankle. And broken ankle is no joke because I've had a broken ankle before. It's not fun. It's no fun. Also says better have a valid driver's license for at least for that road trip. Yes, I am good. My license is good until 2027. Yeah, 2027. So I'm good. Tolls are and I got Easy Pass, so tolls are prepaid. So we're good to go.
Easy Pass. It's convenient.
Kevin Wilson, friend of the show, saying it looks like Vince's Cubs curse is a real thing. Ooh,
oh man!
Because Craig Counsell, as you may or may not have known, what went from the
Bucks Brewers,
went from Milwaukee Brewers, managed them last year. Now is the manager of the Chicago Cubs.
And Milwaukee.
And another friend of the program, Vince Stover, we'll have to have him back from the Sports Stove podcast. He apparently hexed the Cubs, so it's working.
Yeah, I mean, and that was Milwaukee came out and they're like, we would have loved to keep Craig here. Obviously, didn't he played for the Brewers too, didn't he, back in the day?
He did. He did.
So, oof.
He did. Sikti asks, is Tariq's last name Screwball or Screwball? He better have a screwball as well as a slider. I don't think anybody throws a screwball anymore. I think the only pitcher I remember of a memory to really perfect the screwball was Fernando Valenzuela.
Yeah, I can't think of like any well-known screwballer.
Yeah. I mean, other than Fernando Valenzuela, I have to ask my nephew if he knows how to throw a screwball. Maybe he does from his pitching days. Shout out to my nephew Christian, other friend of the show. He's been
shout out CJ Beast. And also, people are throwing fork balls now. What about a spoon ball? Let's get something called the spoon ball in there.
What about a spork ball?
Yeah, spork ball. That'd be fantastic.
Shout to KFC.
Yeah.
Stormload research team joining us this morning saying go Royals. They also say Baltimore, go Baltimore O's. Mr. Wilson saying baseball. There's nothing better. Absolutely. Yeah. Can't go wrong with that.
Oh yeah.
Sapnick joining in. Sports ball! As is Richie. Sports ball! Kevin continues, curl bunch of fantasy team. I highly support that.
Well, I'll have to do it early in the season, Kevin, because I either usually start out terribly and then like make a comeback, but it's too little too late. Or I start out like gangbusters and then just get dropped like a lead balloon for the rest of the season.
See, I got called. Actually, it's funny. Sapna called me mid yesterday in a Discord server. Sapna called me mid. I said, hey, there's nothing wrong with being mid because your expectations aren't too high and they aren't too low. All right. And speaking of Cole Johnson, Mr. Cole Johnson, how are you, sir? He says, congratulations to your Yankees W so far. He also says, good morning, Ryan. Good morning, Dustin.
Good morning, Cole.
The only issue I have with the Yankees using their bullpen routinely for 4 innings might be taxing on the staff. Yeah, I don't agree with you there. I don't disagree with you there. I mean, if Marcus Stroman throws 6 strong innings today, then yeah, it's going to take a load off the staff. But this is why I said before the season, with Garrett Cole being out for he's now in the 60-day IL or DL, whatever you want to call it, with inflammation in his nerve inflammation in his elbow. That was my biggest worry, is that none of these other pitchers in the lineup will be like that beast that Garrett Cole can be, where he can throw 6, 7 really strong innings, and the Yankees won't have to use their bullpen on a routine basis. They've done so the first 2 games with Nestor Torres having a difficult outing. Carlos Rodon, 1 run allowed, but he still threw, I think,
threw a lot of pitches.
Threw like 85 pitches in the first 4 innings in his work. So I also give the credit to the Astros for just absolutely grinding pitchers down. This is what they do. Mm-hmm. This is what the Astros do. They grind down pitchers with their at-bats. This is what they're doing to the Yankees. I have a feeling, and like I said, I'm happy with the 2 wins they have right now. If they can escape with 3, I'll be happy. If they sweep all 4, I'll be even happier. But they got 2 coming out of Houston in the juice box. I'll be okay. I'm okay with that so far.
Yeah, and Cole would know about taxing bullpens because Dusty Baker. That was one of his managerial tactics. If you had a bullpen, Dusty Baker was going to use the heck out of it.
That's true. And congratulations to Dusty Baker. He retired after last season, but
yes,
good luck. Happy trails on your retirement. I have a feeling that thing is though, I mean, Bruce Bochy when retired after his stint with the Giants, came back with the Rangers, won a World Series last year with the Rangers. They pull you back in.
Yeah, they do. It's like that Godfather. The only good thing about Godfather 3 is that quote: "Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in," and that is the way it is. But I always liked Dusty Baker. He got a lot of, some people gave him a lot of grief, but I always liked Dusty Baker. I remember him most as the manager of the San Francisco Giants for all that time.
Chicago Cubs.
Yes. I also loved Bruce Bochy. Jim Leyland, some of these older managers. I used to like to see who's the longtime manager of the Braves in the night. Cox.
Oh, Bobby Cox. Bobby Cox.
Yeah, I always like some of these more old school managers. It was great to see they had Joe Torre manage a spring game, and it was great to see him come out of the dugout one time for the New York Yankees.
Yep. Don't forget, I remember reading an article a long time ago about Jim Fregosi back in the day when he was manager of the Phillies. And they would talk, and the whole narrative was, "Oh, these guys are slobs. They chew tobacco." Blah, blah, blah. And they talk about how Jim Fregosi would take drags out of the, would sneak a drag or 2 of a cigarette while in the dugout.
Yeah, but you know what? Those guys, what I miss about that era of managers, and anybody feel free to chime in, but they managed, pun partially intended, because some of these guys were a little, they like to get after it at the buffet line, but they managed with their gut, right? They didn't rely so much on analytics and this guy's pitch count is over 100. We better take him out immediately. All these things. They didn't. they just managed by the quote unquote feel of the game. And I kind of miss that era sometimes.
Speaking of breakfast buffet, well, I'll actually, I got to dig on that after our commercial break. We'll go through more of these comments after the commercial break. So we come back, we're going to do our edition of the list. We'll talk about what movies we're going to be that you can watch along with us during the summer for no ticket required. So stay tuned for more No Credentials Required. This episode of No Credentials Required is brought to you by Invader Coffee. For the coffee lover who wants good, quality coffee with no bullshit and no filler, Invader Coffee is an ultra-premium, veteran-owned coffee company proudly delivering only the best coffee your hard-earned money can buy. They aim to only serve the highest quality, organic, air-roasted coffee beans sourced from free trade farms all over the world. They keep things simple. The best coffee at an affordable price in order to provide you with the value you deserve for your morning boost. 100% fair trade, 100% organic coffee beans, 100% air roasted, 100% money back guarantee. Visit invadercoffee.com, enter promo code BELLYUP at checkout, and receive 15% off your order. That's right, folks. The coffee that currently occupies this massive cup, and Dustin's cup too, is Invader Coffee. We hope that it's also in your cup this morning. Look, air roasted beans, low acidity, high quality, veteran owned. So if you love your veterans, you're going to love this company. Use our affiliate link in the description, whether on the podcast side, the Facebook side, or the YouTube side, or also on Rumble. Use our affiliate link, get 15% off your order with code BELLYUP. I haven't made my French press in over 2 months of coffee. I've been using the K-Cups, so I don't remember which flavor I'm drinking today. But I assure you, it's a damn good cup of coffee. And you should get yourselves some Invader Coffee today. Dustin, I know you're a big fan of the flavors. Which one are you drinking today?
I am drinking the Bad Santa. I still have a little bit of that left, and I have it hermetically sealed in a container to try to preserve the beans because I've had it for a little bit now, and it's delicious as ever. I also have the Breaking Case of Emergency blend, which is a blend I have not tried yet, so I'm looking forward to opening that. And I'm getting a little low, so I'm going to be using that promo code shortly to re-up.
And don't forget to use the affiliate link too. So
I will not.
Okay, all right. So again, get yourselves some coffee, 15% off your order with promo code BELLYUP, and use our affiliate link because we get a little bit of commission. That's how you help the show. So we're going to continue with the comments. Cole says, I just talked with Wise yesterday about his Knicks. He's over the moon excited about his orange and blue squad. And don't forget, too, they've got some guys coming back from injury. I believe Julius Randle's going to be coming back pretty soon. There's a couple other guys who have been on the shelf that are going to be joining the squad momentarily. Tom Thibodeau says Randle is still waiting to take contact and trying to straighten the shoulder area. I suspect he'll be back for the playoffs, hopefully for them. So he's a big part of their offense for the next big part of the next period. But I mean, it's Jalen Brunson's team. Let's just put it that way. It's Jalen Brunson's team. That was a marvelous free agency pickup.
Yes, it was. He wanted to stay in Dallas, and they should have signed him.
Dustin's not bitter about that at all.
It's been a rough time for me as a Mavs fan. I see Jalen Brunson doing so well, and I think about what could have been. And then a few weeks ago,
Dallas is in 6th place. So
yes, they're doing all right.
Spot right now.
Yes, they're doing all right. But I also had to apologize to Kyrie Irving a couple weeks ago. He did. So I mean, it's been a little bit of a run for me.
It's true. As Kurt Angle would say, it's true. It's damn true.
Yeah.
Cole says Gaylord Perry threw a screwball too. However, he was known to throw spitballs more. And there is that urban legend about Gaylord Perry allegedly saying, "I will hit a home run," because I believe it was a National League pitcher for most of his career.
Yeah,
and it's an urban legend that he said that if he was ever asked if he would ever hit a home run in a game, He says, a man will land on the moon before I hit a home run in my career. The legend is, it's an urban legend, that he hit his only home run in his major league career on July 20th, 1969. Now, whether that's true or not, it's still funny.
Yeah.
Cole also continues, I agree with you. Garrett Cole's injury may be a monkey wrench to their pitching staff overall. Yep.
Yeah.
They just got to survive the first 2 months of the year. I think if they're break even at the midway point in May, they'll be okay. When Garrett Cole comes back, he'll be a spark in the lineup because I believe you got Marcus Stroman pitching today, Clark Schmidt pitching tomorrow, and I forgot who their fifth starter is.
Well,
But they might do a starting role as opposed to like an actual stay in the game for 5+ innings. But we'll see. Let's take a look here. Real-time research, folks. Real-time research.
I am on it too here. I'm on it too.
Clark Schmidt's pitching tomorrow, and on Monday, Luis Gil pitches.
Ah, yes, Luis
Gil.
Heel, possibly. I can't remember.
I think it's, I don't know. Who knows? Cole goes on, Dustin, man, Baker loved to use the bullpen.
I know. The bullpen arms would be falling off. I mean, He was like always going to the bullpen.
Yeah.
But I still liked him. There was some about.
Yeah, Dustin Baker he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He continues to be a good guy. He also says the more old school managers seemingly had a better feel for their pitching staffs. Absolutely. He also says, why be bitter, Dustin? Your Mavs are doing well now. They have to prepare battling for the Nuggets, Timberwolves, or Thunder.
Yes, and I am very concerned if they do draw the Nuggets because I saw Luka Doncic attempt to play defense on Jokic, and it did not go well.
or as our dear friend Ray on LJPN would say, Luka Donkey Trash. All right, folks. We're going to get into the list.
You just made the list!
Oh, my gosh. And appropriately enough, with Chris Jericho, we're going to talk about our favorite pro wrestling themes. Dustin and I are wrestling fans from the 90s. I mean, we're not reporting from the 90s, but back in the 90s, between the WCW era, the NWO era, and the WWE Attitude Era, we both watched that era. I still dabble in it a little bit, but I typically watch the big four WWE wrestling events, which would be WrestleMania, which is next weekend. I'm gonna miss night one because I'll be at the Firewolves game. I'm definitely tuning in for night two. WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and Royal Rumble. Those are the big four I typically watch. The ancillary ones I loosely pay attention to. Dustin, I think, kind of dabbles too. I watch Ups and Downs on a regular occasion with Simon Miller, the bald a-hole. A little bald a-hole like myself. But we're going to dip into our favorite pro wrestling themes. We have a top 5 that we have. Plus, we have some honorable mentions. I know our friend of the show, Cole Johnson, he's an occasional wrestling fan. Wise, El Jefe, Drew Willie.
Yeah, I was going to say D. Willie, big wrestling fan.
He'll love this list. So if you are a wrestling fan, whether from past or present, give us your thoughts in the comments. Which are your favorite wrestling themes? And Dustin, I'm gonna have you lead off, but let's have you go with. I don't really have an order to things. Okay. I'm just going by my 5 favorites.
Okay.
But what's your first one?
I'm going to be going in descending order. I do have an order of things, and you and I discussed this in the green room a little bit, but because I think some people are going to be surprised by my list. But these are just, some of these were organic reactions when I thought about it. I'm just like, hey, I think it's this. And part of my logic behind this, I spent an inordinate amount of time on this. More time than I should have, but I broke it down because for those of you who don't know, music has been a love of mine for most of my life. I went to school for music production. Like I take music seriously, and even with this list, it was no exception because the example I gave to Ryan in the green room was the Shawn Michaels theme. I have great memories surrounding that theme. I like to sing it sometimes. Shawn's entrances are some of the best, depending on the era. The zip line coming into WrestleMania, that he got the Mr. WrestleMania nickname, but that theme sucks. Okay, let's throw it out there. It sucks. The theme itself sucks, but you put the whole package together. A+, right? A+, a lot of good memories. So I tried to divorce myself from factoring the entrances in and all these things. And I just went on the straight musicality of the theme. So that is the rationality behind my list. And with that, my first pick is Everybody's Got a Price, the $1 Million Man theme, coming in at number 5. I love this theme.
2, 1. You know who does a really great laugh? DiBiase laugh. Cole Johnson.
Oh man, Cole, you got to do it the next time you're on the show.
Yes,
I love, and you hit the nail on the head. I do like the beat of the theme. Jim Johnston strikes again. He's going to be a theme throughout this episode, this segment of the episode. But that Ted DiBiase laugh does so much to add to that theme. And then when he says, everybody's got a price, everybody's got to pay, the $1 Million Man always gets his way. It's just a great, and it's going to be one of the older themes on the list for me because my list skews a little. You're going to be able to tell which era of wrestling I watch the most by the selection of my themes. But with that, I turn it over to you, Ryan, for your first selection.
Yeah. So actually, I have a quick story about the. I don't know if you remember the segment where Ted DiBiase offers $500 to a kid.
Yes.
To roll a basketball 15 times, and after the 14th bounce, he kicks the basketball and says, "Oh no, I'm sorry." But interesting, they actually reunited a while later. But I'll come back to that. And he mentions it a couple times. He actually reunited in 2022 with the kid. He's like, to this at present day, the kid towers over Ted DiBiase. I'll show you.
Oh man!
I'll show you a quick picture of what that looks like. It's like, yeah, you ain't getting a basketball from him, Mr. DiBiase. Yeah, this is the kid. This is what it looks like.
Man.
Yeah, he's at least half a head above Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
So I'll have to read some more about what this about the reunion and about the backstory behind it.
Ted DiBiase, a Falcons fan. Who knew? We got to get Ted DiBiase on the show for next year's NFL breakdown.
I know, right?
Ted, we know you're a big fan.
Yeah, Mr. DiBiase, we know you're a big fan. Your son, Ted DiBiase Jr., who wrestled too. He's a big fan too. All right, so I guess I'll go from descending order from 5 to 1. My number 5, and this is unmistakable because he's been in the dub for so long. I'm going to call WWE the dub. He's been for so long. He's an icon. He's a legend, and it's unmistakable because once you see the lights go down and you hear that bong, Undertaker.
Oh yeah,
Undertaker's theme music is with Paul Bear coming out with the urn. Oh yes, the urn. I'll make them believe this is the urn. The urn, the power. The Undertaker. Then you hear Jim Ross in the background. By God, that's the Undertaker's music.
Oh yeah.
But it's an iconic theme song because you just hear that dong, you hear the bell just go, and you get chills.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's my number 5 theme. All right, number 4, Dustin.
Number 4 for me, we're going to WCW for this one.
Ooh.
We are doing the Four Horsemen theme.
Woo!
I put it at number 4 for a reason. I had to. There's a little synergy with my list. Now,
Heyo.
the Four Horsemen, much like the aforementioned Undertaker, had multiple versions of the theme, but I'm talking about the version it's basically one long guitar solo, and it's got some synth in it. You know, I sent the screenshot to Ryan. Go listen to this theme if you haven't. It's a good one. It's a good one, especially if you're a sometimes guitar player like I am. There's a lot for you to like in there. But it's so, and it just has a vibe with those galloping horses in the beginning.
Yep. Absolutely. My number 4 is another legend in WWE, although more of the modern era from I would say the Ruthless Aggression era. This was after WWE bought WCW. John Cena, My Time Is Now, when he does the rapping by himself. Because you get that beginning, that Abadu and do. And it's funny, like now you get a mixed reaction from the crowd because for a while that when they would sing do 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 do, people would yell John Cena sucks. But like I guess one of the last pay-per-views he was at, I think it was Money in the Bank. Like it was in Britain. I think it was in Manchester, England, and the crowd was actually singing John Cena sucks. And he embraced it. And it was, but that's a great theme too. I often play it. I sometimes play it during my workouts. I'll admit it. It's a great tune. And the fact that John Cena is actually doing the rapping himself, and he doesn't do a bad job. Like I'm not a rap or hip hop connoisseur.
Uh-oh. There we go.
Okay, we're back. I froze. My bad.
It's all right. It's all right. So we're back. The last words I heard from you was, I'm not a hip hop connoisseur. You were talking about John Cena's theme. Uh-oh. I can't hear you now. Can you hear me? Oh, I think you're frozen. You might be frozen again, my friend.
So I'm not a hip hop
Oh,
I'm not a hip hop connoisseur. But here we go again.
okay. You're frozen on my end. Let's see if. Oh, okay. Now you're
Are we
back.
back?
Yeah, yeah. But I. Oh, uh-oh. It's me.
All right, we're good.
Yeah, yeah. Now I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Let me take Wi-Fi off. Yeah.
All right. Hey, this is why it's
All right,
live.
I think I'm back.
Yeah, I think so.
Live TV, folks. All right, cool. As I was saying, before I got really interrupted by my computer freezing, I'm not a hip hop or rap expert, but for a guy who started off his career as basically a bodybuilder and an ex-football player, just trying to break into the wrestling business, does a solid job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Does a solid job of it in this song.
That's where I'm not a huge fan of that theme. I think it's partially because I was not watching at that time, and also John Cena wrestles in jorts, which always bothered me.
It still does.
Yeah, but I will give him major props for actually doing that rapping, because as part of this journey, I went back and listened to some of the older themes, like the first iteration of Stone Cold's theme, the first iteration of The Rock's theme after he had switched over to The Rock. And they're doing voiceover, and all they're doing is saying stuff over it, and it just doesn't sound good.
Mm-hmm.
like with Stone Cold's theme, you got the thing going in the back, and he's like, "You don't have what it takes to step into the ring with Stone Cold." Like, it's not good. And then The Rock, they're in later versions of the theme. They cut it up. They cut it up and made it work. But in the first version of it, he's just like, The Rock says, "Know your role and shut your mouth."
Shut your mouth.
And he's like, "Ha ha ha!" And it just doesn't, it doesn't happen.
Oh gosh.
So I will give major props to Cena there.
There you go. All right, number 3, Dustin. What's your number 3 theme?
Number 3, and I think this is where I'm going to turn some heads.
Ooh.
My number 3 theme, and I almost put it at number 2 and number 1. I juggled with this for a long time. It is Gangrel's theme / The Brood. If you don't remember it, go listen to that theme. That theme is a banger. I will listen to it sometimes. It's like a techno club mix. Go check it out. It's got it's
like you're watching Blade.
Yeah, exactly. Wesley Snipes is joining me, bobbing his head. But watch it. It should.
It's Steven Dorff.
Yeah, listen to it. There's something about it, and I just like it. It's got that atmosphere with the breathing, and it probably sounds like early 2000s. You got late 90s, early 2000s all over the thing. But I still will put that on sometimes in my playlist mixes and just listen to it. And sometimes, it just created a mood when they came out. And when they were the Brood, when it was Edge, Christian, and Gangrel, they came up through the fire. That was pretty sweet. Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, Edge's last WrestleMania, which was last year before he was released by WWE, he's now with AEW.
Yeah,
wrestling as Christian, as Adam Copeland, the rated R superstar, which is he owns that. He owns that trademark, the rated R superstar, because WWE's trademark on it expired, so he brought it with him when he went to WWE. But that's what he did. The Brood theme, not the theme. Well, he did a Brood tribute before his match with Finn Balor, and I thought that was pretty cool because you saw the flames come out the Slayer, and which transitioned over to Metalingus by Alter Bridge, which is basically his theme now. So, but no, it's a solid tune. It's a solid entrance music. Number 3 for me, and another tribute to another power bald, just like myself, the Goldberg's theme.
Oh yeah, the
Goldberg's
atmosphere
theme.
around this one.
That gives you chills too, because you see you see Goldberg coming out with security around him to the entrance. Then you hear the drums, dun, 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 dun. Then you hear the theme. Then you hear the synthesizer. Then he comes out to his the sparkler. Oh, I don't say the sparklers, but like the pyro.
Yeah,
He's in the middle of it. He breathes it in. And he breathes out the smoke. Boom, 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 and the crowd chanting Goldberg, Goldberg to that theme, and that theme gives me chills too. I'll be honest with you. I can't find it anywhere in Spotify to add it to my liked songs or my workout playlist, which is a shame.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be a good one to add. But that to me is another one where the full package adds to it. The theme itself, not bad. It's a good theme, but the package just elevates it. But not like Sean's theme. That theme is just bad, but the full package brings it real nice up for me, because I was always a big Shawn Michaels fan through most of his career. How could you
although I will say, when he came to WWE, Turner owned the rights to the original theme, and WWE had to do a similar type theme. Which, when that trademark expired and Goldberg came back in, I think 2018. When I think it was 2018 when he came back and faced Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series. They brought the original theme back. I was like, all right, this pleases me.
Yeah. Those the biggest like similar theme example that I can think of is American Made, Hulk Hogan's WCW theme. Not doesn't do it for me.
No, it is not Rick Derringer, that's for sure.
Yeah,
that's for sure. All right, number 2.
Number 2 for me, and this was a late entrance. This is why I kept going back. And this is another time and place thing for me, probably. But the DX theme, the "Are you ready?" And then everybody comes out. And I always thought, when I was a kid, I said, this kind of sounds like Rage Against the Machine. I liked it.
I thought it was Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah. And it just, people still do the crotch chop to this day. It's iconic. But that theme, it's just a perfect vibe. It's a perfect vibe as a song overall. Gets a little repetitive, but it is enough to make number 2 on my list. DX theme.
All right. Number 2 for me is Glass Shatters, Stone Cold Steve Austin. You hear the glass break, and then crowd goes the pop. Crowd goes crazy. Although, honorable mention for this category, Disturbed did a kind of a remix of this theme, because WWE was trying to do like an album of their theme songs covered by hard rock and heavy metal artists. Seven Dust covered Jericho's theme. Our Lady Peace was actually the ones responsible for Chris Benoit's theme.
Oh, okay.
Or as WWE does, the guy who we disappeared him. We don't mention him anymore because of what he did. Can't blame him. Him. But you hear the glass shatter and the pop. Always the pop. And I remember Mick Foley's first WWE title win was aided by one Stone Cold Steve Austin. And you think, all right, DX is on Mick Foley's side, and you got the corporation, the corporate ministry, as it would be later known, which I thought was one of the dumbest angles ever. It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
Really?
That wasn't great.
You're the leader. Anyway, but you all see all these shenanigans going on, and then all of a sudden you hear the glass shatter, and Stone Cold throws a chair hits the Rock over the head with a chair, flipping off the McMahons, Foley gets the win. And by the way, Tony Schiavone, congratulations to you about the in regards to the biggest mistake.
Yep.
That turned the mistake that turned the tide in the Monday Night Wars was Tony Schiavone. I'll bring up the quote and I'll bring up the quote in just a second. When he Tony Schiavone, Mick Foley quote.
Now there's been some
put butts in the seats.
yeah, that'll put butts in the seats, and then and then
there we go. Here's the quote. If you're thinking about changing the channel for our competition, fans do not, because we understand that Mick Foley, who wrestled here one time as Cactus Jack, is going to win the world title. Huh? That's going to put some butts in the seats. End quote.
And everybody turned the channel to go watch it.
Yep.
It's and there was some I can't remember. Did Schiavone say that he decided to say that, or was he told to mention that? I think I can't remember.
I think it was told to mention that because that was a time when Nitro was live and Raw was pre-recorded.
Yep, Raw was taped.
They had recorded that episode, I think, the previous Tuesday.
Yeah,
but that was the same night as the finger poke of doom, as Vicala succinctly says. Yeah, the same time that the finger poke of doom happened. Yep, that was the same night.
Not a great night for WCW there.
Not a great night for WCW, because that was the night after Kevin Nash won the title from Goldberg and broke his winning streak.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was the streak, the finger poke of doom.
But yeah, Stone Cold Glass Shatters, #2 for me. It's in my playlist. I'll always have it on. It's a great theme.
Yeah,
the glass shatter and the crowd goes crazy.
You gotta love the wah pedal there, the synths and the wah pedal on the guitar. Yeah, so it's good. It's good.
Yep. And your number one wrestling theme.
Well, once again, I'm going back to WCW. To me, this is the theme that I still play. I used it for a presentation at work, and I walked into it with a toothpick, and I flicked the toothpick in the conference room. Yes, they let me do this. But I just gave away. For me, it's #1 with a bullet. You want to talk about a vibe going to the ring? It's the NWO theme for me. The NWO theme. Plus, it's a marriage of a couple Hendrix songs, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Hey Joe is one of them. I can't remember the other one. But this is just like, it gets stuck in your head and you just want to put it on. You want to put it on loop. At least me, I do. And then you got the for life dubbed over the top. It's a masterpiece. I love the NWO theme. There were so many other themes I could have slotted in here. I wanted to get some more old school things in, but when I started thinking, the impact of the NWO is, I mean, people still wear NWO shirts. It's all over the place, but that theme, I will go to that theme whenever I want to just, if I want to create a vibe for something, like I did want to for my presentation at work. Yeah. I had somebody put on that NWO theme. And I got accomplices. I had the vice president. She made me a shirt with our company logo on it that kind of looked like the NWO shirt. I had jeans on. I went in there. I still can't believe they let me do that. But the NWO theme with a bullet for me.
Yeah, I just read a little bit. The NWO theme is actually an original.
Oh, okay.
That's original. But Hulk Hogan's NWO theme was Voodoo Child.
Yes, I remember he did Voodoo Child and he was coming out. So okay, but I see, because I hear bits of like where they definitely liberally took from like a Hendrix vibe then, because I'm like, Hey Joe, they had to get clearance because there's one small part where I'm like, it really sounds like the intro to Hey Joe, and like they just cut it up a little bit. But NWO theme, so good.
Yeah. And my favorite, well, speaking of Hulk Hogan, my favorite, number one, with a bullet for me, is Real American for Hulk Hogan by Rick Derringer. Long live Rick Derringer. Oh,
The theme is iconic.
The theme is iconic. I gotta make an Americana list for 4th of July for Independence Day.
Yeah.
That's gonna be in there. And I always have that GIF on Independence Day. I always post it on Twitter of Hulk Hogan with his the flag in the background and his USA theme American guitar doing the thing. Oh man.
Even though he plays bass, I think Hulk Hogan does. I believe it was bass he played, but I can't remember. But yeah, that's a great theme.
Yeah, I mean, we have honorable mentions, but for time's sake, we'll reveal our honorable mentions on Tuesday's edition.
Yes,
the OG edition of No Credentials Required. But we got plenty of comments in the comments section. We'll get to that. Both Cole Johnson and Vic Allah chiming in with their wrestling themes. He says Cole says my favorite current wrestling theme is Trick Williams' "Whoop Dat Trick" WWE styles, not to be confused with the Hustle and Flow edition. Oh, he also loves the list element. Thank you, Cole.
Oh yeah, yes.
I learned from I learned from the master. I learned from the master himself. As a tribute to you, sir. As a tribute to you. Got a lot of comments in here, so won't be able to get them all. But Cole with his Ric Flair impression. You keep your mouth shut, fat boy. I'll take your mother to the back and make an honest woman out of her. Oldest ride, longest line.
I forgot about some of his lines.
Alligator shoes, $15,000. This suit, $10,000.
Ric Flair, one of the best promo cutters, aside from all his other talents. But I was legitimately concerned for the man's health when he would get going. His face would get so red.
By the way, his promo battle between him and Jay Lethal.
Oh, that's the best. One of the few times I watched TNA was for that.
Yeah, what was when Ric Flair, the actual Ric Flair, went up against Jay Lethal as Ric Flair. Man.
They were doing a woo off. they were wooing, and for some reason, I don't know, Jay Lethal, he just did it perfect. He's like, "You want to come out here and talk to me?"
And Flair's throwing his shoe down the aisle. I gotta wonder. There has to be a backstory to like the entire thing. Like they had to have gone to the back afterwards. And like we're just laughing hysterically.
Oh yeah,
because that bit was that's magic. And even though TNA is kind of that bit was just phenomenal. One of the best non-WWE promos ever. Cole says John Cena is actually a pretty good rapper. He freestyles pretty well. Now, will I compare him to all the greats? No, but he's good for WWE. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. And Vic Allah chiming in Espresso McCoffee on Saturday mornings with a special Dustin blend.
Yeah.
Hogan's he says WCW theme. He says Hogan's WCW theme was perfect for him. I love the whackness of the theme because it fit the person so well.
They did what they had to do, but yeah, I mean it just didn't do it for me on the level that Real American did, but I understand they can't use that, obviously.
Yeah. Victor says DX's theme exemplified the 90s. Absolutely. Says, that was the same time that the finger poke of doom happened. And Cole confirms. Eric Bischoff fed him the line and told Shivani to use it. WCW Nitro would take a minute out of their programming to read the results of Raw, and did so for about 2 months.
Yeah, I do remember some of those, especially with Bischoff coming out and actually revealing some of the results in the ring. In the ring, he has since come out on 83 Weeks and said that he really shouldn't have done that.
So the real American theme was originally intended for the U.S. Express, the tag team of Mike Rotundo, who would later become Erwin R. Shyster, and Barry Windham.
Okay. Wow. I did not know that.
And Cole goes on to continue. Obviously, Mankind winning the WWE title stopped them doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Victor Lock has got some pretty good ones. It says smell like Teen Spirit cover for WWE for DDP.
Oh yeah.
Even Sting's theme. Yeah. Which
Sting's theme is good.
Was it the original Sting, like the OG, like Surfer Sting, or the Crow Sting? That's what I want to know.
I'm gonna assume that Victor Lock is talking the Crow theme, man. Sting Crow theme.
And he says my favorite theme of all time is Undertaker's theme. Yeah, it's a banger.
Yeah,
it's a banger.
But which version? Because there's a lot of them.
He also says I cannot wait for the return of Cole Flair. Cole Johnson's impression of Ric Flair is out of this world. Out of this world.
Oh man,
gotta hear it.
We got some stuff planned for Cole when he comes back on the show.
Absolutely. Oh,
will I bump out my Dusty Rhodes impression in response? Perhaps.
Hard times. He also said, so for Victor, he clarifies, for me, it's the Crow theme as well as Seek and Destroy. That's right. I forgot he came out with Seek and Destroy by Metallica.
Oh, man.
All right. So we're going to close things out pretty quickly. Let's talk about no ticket required. And actually, let me play that bumper for you right now. All right, so this summer we are bringing back no ticket required. We're going to have 7 films over the summer that we invite you to watch along with us. Not like live, but what we'll do is that we'll announce what film we're going to be watching, what movie we're going to be watching, and then you can watch along with us and give us your thoughts in the comments, whether we're live or we're on recording, and we'll talk about the movie, what we thought about the movie, what we liked, what we didn't like. And I had the list, but it's actually in my car. So, so Dustin, why don't you, I'll have you take over for just a moment and you talk about how this list came to be. So I'll be right back.
All right. Well, while Ryan goes and gets the list, I'm going to tell you how it happened. Last week, we had a production meeting last weekend during a lot of people lost power around our area. We had a big winter storm in springtime, a lot of ice involved, which equals down trees and down power lines. So during all this, we went to what has become our official production meeting spot, the Hideaway. Very good brunch food there, as well as good food all around. And we sat down and we decided, you know what? We had such a fun time doing no ticket required last summer that we're going to bring it back. And we have a whole new rotation of sports movies for us to watch. And one of our favorite things is that you get to watch along with us and you get to chime in with your thoughts. And it was just episodes that I think people looked forward to. And I will come out and say that my sister confessed to me that the only time she watches our show is when we're doing no ticket required. So
that's okay.
Yes, it is okay. She's not a big sports person, but I am looking forward to this. And shouts out to the Hideaway for some amazing brunch food during our production meeting. And shouts out to you, Ryan, for letting my sister and brother-in-law crash our production meeting because they had no power and they were staying at the Chateau de Dustin for the weekend there.
Nice. All right, so here are the movies we're going to be watching this summer. And again, you're more than welcome. And as Dustin said, you're more than welcome to join along with us and comment about the movies we watch or the movies we're watching that week. So, and this is in no particular order of when we're going to review them. This is just the list that we currently have. So the first one is Goon with Sean Thomas Scott and Liev Schreiber, based on the true story of Doug Smith, who went from basically nobody to become one of the most feared enforcers in the East Coast Hockey League and the AHL. Rush, which is also based on a true story. I forgot the car driver who it was based off of. The life of James Hunt and Niki Lauda.
Niki Lauda, I could remember, but I could not remember the other.
The third movie we're going to be reviewing is The Iron Claw, based on the Von Erich family, which came out this past Christmas. We were gonna do a special edition, but we kind of forgot because of the NFL.
The NFL
over our lives. But we're gonna review that movie, so feel free to watch along with us. Boys in the Boat, which I hadn't heard of until your sister told us about it.
Yeah, I had just seen a commercial for it, the trailer. So
yeah, that's also based on a true story. A lot of these movies are based on a true story, except with the exception of the next one I'll get to, which is The Program, a great movie from the 1990s about college football. Almost true to life. Period. With college football. The next movie we're going to be reviewing is American Underdog, again based on a true story. Kurt Warner, actually, one of the arena football players who used to play in Albany, played for the Albany Empire, the OG Albany Empire, Colin Taylor. He's in this movie. He plays Ricky Prohl.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Let's see if I can get him. I can invite him on for that episode.
Yeah, that'd be great.
An in-depth interview with him, talk about the movie itself, the production, what it was like to work with Zachary Levi, what his athletic prowess is. Hey. And then the last movie we're going to be reviewing, and again, this is no particular order. This is just the movie list of the movies that we're going to be reviewing. And again, based on a true story, I Time.
Oh, yeah.
So a little bit of Margot Robbie in your lives, folks. We'll sprinkle a little bit of Aussie magic.
Yeah.
In your lives.
Ryan, I've seen this movie, and I'm looking forward to watching it again because it was a number of years ago that I saw it. But there is one character in there, particularly one actor's portrayal of a character in this movie that I can't wait for you to see. And as soon as that person is revealed, you'll know who I'm talking about, and I think you're going to laugh. So I can't wait to get your reaction.
Well, I will say I've seen two of these movies on this list. I have seen Goon. It's actually one of my favorite movies. It's a hockey tale. And I've seen The Program. So I remember watching it when I was a teenager. I watched it a couple of years ago, actually. It was on Hulu for a tick. I don't know if it's still there, but if it is, awesome. But we're going to you know what? We might as well wrap things up now. We're a little bit over, almost an hour and a half into this, but again, we had the technical difficulty where we're both gone for a few minutes, but we made it through. We did on a Saturday brunch edition. So we want to thank you for watching along with us. Or watching the replay. And again, if you want to reach out to us on social media, all of our social media channels are right down here below: Twitter, Instagram, and occasionally use TikTok for as long as TikTok is around. At NoCredsREQ, Facebook.com/NoCredsREQ, YouTube.com/@NoCredsREQ. And again, please feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe to all of our social media channels. On the podcast side, subscribe on a myriad podcast platforms, your preferred podcast platform, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Good Pods, wherever you podcast, rate and review, leave a 5-star rating for us. That would be helpful. And also, if you're on a platform where you can, leave a review. We might even read it on the air. Thanks for tuning in to the Saturday Sports Brunch edition of No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We're presented by Belly Up Sports in association with Gozilla Media. For Dustin Henry, I'm Ryan McCarthy. We'll see you back here on Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a great Saturday, and happy Easter to those who observe. We'll see you.
Happy Easter, and good afternoon, everybody.